अस्सलाम वालेकुम। कल हमने नॉलेज टेलिंग ऐसे पे बात की थी और मैंने ये एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश की कि that type of essay is not a suitable approach for writing an extended essay. I explained it with the metaphor of bricks, जहाँ पर आप ईंटें एक दूसरे के साथ आगे पीछे रख देते हो, लेकिन वो ईंटें एक building, they don't build a complete house. And I try to explain with the use of this metaphor that it doesn't take your argument anywhere. It's not very useful for the reader because the reader doesn't understand what your viewpoint is. And it's not very good for you because you are unable to communicate what you want to communicate. And then another problem with that type of essay is that it's too personal, it's too subjective. Most of the things are coming from your personal knowledge, personal experience, personal opinion. And in a sophisticated and I would say advanced level essay writing, these things are not acceptable. Nobody accepts them. And that could be one reason that a lot of students, a lot of candidates are failing CSS exam because they take that approach. And obviously that approach doesn't support the level, doesn't fit into the level where you should pitch your CSS essay writing essay. I'm not suggesting that that's something we should discard. That's the starting point. Knowledge telling essay is the starting point. If you're learning English, if you are learning essay writing, then that's the starting point. But then there are stages. And by the time you reach your CSS, or you are sitting for your CSS essay paper, you have completed your, you have graduated from the university, right? You are at an advanced level of knowledge, expertise, and that's what now you need to demonstrate in your essay paper or through your essay that you write for that paper. And my proposition was, and it is also today, that for this situation, what we need is a knowledge transforming essay. So watch this video till the end because some important information is coming at the end, right? About this knowledge transforming essay. So what I'm going to do today, there will be two videos. In the first video, I'm going to sort of clarify the idea of knowledge transforming essay. I'll talk about its features. And then in the second video, I'll take some paragraphs from two knowledge transforming essays and compare them with the paragraphs from yesterday. Yesterday, I used two paragraphs, one from some candidate practicing for CSS and another from a newspaper article. And today I'm going to, then in the second video, compare knowledge transforming essay paragraphs with those two paragraphs and try to concretely elaborate the differences and the patterns which may emerge and which you may follow and adopt for your essay writing. So number one, watch this video till the end because I'm going to show you a comparison of knowledge transforming essay and knowledge telling essay. What should be the considerations? What are the considerations in the first one and what are the considerations in the second one? But first, obviously, let's understand the concept. What's a knowledge transforming essay? The first thing I would say that it's an essay which doesn't rely on personal knowledge, personal experience, and personal memories. Now, what do I mean by personal knowledge? Is it something bad to have personal knowledge? I would say it's not bad to have personal knowledge, but it's not scientific knowledge. If I have a mobile phone and I'm using that mobile phone and I have a sort of experience with that mobile phone, this doesn't become scientific knowledge. That's my personal experience. maybe for me, that mobile phone is good. But if you survey 10 or 15 people, or if you go and read 10 or 15 reviews about that phone, they may say it's the worst kind of phone on earth. Now, whom are you going to believe? Me or those 15 people? So that's what I mean by personal knowledge. If I give an idea of something, if I give a definition of something, is that definition, that idea coming from my personal perception, or there is a knowledge base for that, a widely accepted and valid knowledge base? So that's what I mean by personal knowledge. In schools, the kind of essays that we get, smoking, for example, or importance of education, we try to pump in our personal knowledge in that essay. And our personal knowledge, it's not very organized, it's not very valid, and it's very shallow. From my personal knowledge, what can I say about education? General things, stereotype things, right? Kind of, it's good for everybody. Everybody should be educated because it gives us a good job. It builds our knowledge. It turns us into good human beings, depending on the perspective that I take. And I'll from my personal knowledge and memory, these are the things that I can say. Same is related to personal experience. You eat in a restaurant, you like that food on that day, maybe it's cooked well on that day, but then the rest of the 24 hours, right? You have eaten there for 30 minutes, but rest of the 23.5 hours, the food is bad. How do you know? You're using just the experience gained in those 30 minutes. But what about rest of the time? Probably 1,000 people visit that restaurant in a day, and at the end of the day, all of them say the food is pathetic. So that's what makes personal experience invalid, right? Look at the historian. What do? They go, they collect information, they have a proper method of collecting information, they have a proper method of then corroborating that information, and then they have a proper method of selecting that information and putting it into the history book or the history essay that they are writing. And then people believe in them. They might be writing they might be writing a history of 500 years back, some event which happened 500 years ago, but still people believe in them because they take a scientific approach. They collect information in a methodological way. Sorry for the tongue twister. So that is the value, or a sort of like not any value of personal knowledge, personal experience, and personal memories, right? So a knowledge transforming essay, let me just put them in a sequence. First, you have an issue, you have a problem, you have a topic. In the words of CSS exam, you have a topic, right? You're preparing for the essay writing exam. There are certain topics. You choose a topic or topics, and you are preparing for that, right? So the first thing is to think analytically and critically about that topic. Then you just don't rely on your memory, what is already there, your personal information. You're not subjective. You go, you read on that topic. You try to expand your knowledge on that topic. And उसमें आपको, if I have to give you a tip, libraries पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. There is no need to sort of study the whole library. if there's a topic, education and its importance for a nation's economy, so if you read 30 articles on this topic, probably they will form the essential knowledge on this topic. So anything like 10 to 20 or 25 or 30 articles, good articles from good sources, will give you enough and sufficient knowledge and information about this topic of knowledge and its importance for national economy, or education and its role in national economy. And then you sort of transform this knowledge. What do I mean by transforming? Let's talk about the example of fatwa. अब फतवे में क्या होता है? एक इशू है, आप एक मुफ्ती साहब को भेजते हो और उनसे पूछते हो कि इस सिचुएशन में या इस इशू पे क्या करना चाहिए. Now, what does that mufti do? मुफ्ती साहब जाते हैं कुरान और हदीस सहाबा की जिंदगी से, या अगर किसी ने मजीद फतवे ऑलरेडी इस मौजू पे दिए हुए हैं, they look at all these things and then finally they reach a conclusion. They use a certain kind of method, ठीक है, फिका जिसे कहते हैं और इस्तिहाद जिसे कहते हैं, and then they come up with a solution for you. Okay, this is the solution, and before they give you the solution, they write the whole background. कि कुरान की इस आयत में ये कहा गया है, इसकी ये तफसीर है, हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने ये कहा था, उसकी ये तफसीर है. उसके बाद कुछ साहबा को इसी किस्म से मिलता जुलता मसला पेश आया था, उन्होंने इस मौके पे ये किया था. उसके बाद मौलाना सो एंड सो ने इस पे ये लिखा हुआ है, मुफ्ती सो एंड सो ने इस पे ये लिखा हुआ है, एंड दे रीच अ कंक्लूजन. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे एक पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न है, एक पर्टिकुलर मेथड यूज किया जाता है. सो इन नॉलेज ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग एसे यू डू द सेम. आपके पास एक इश्यू है, आप उस पे एक एंगल लेना चाहते हो, यू गो एंड एक्सप्लोर कि मुख्तलिफ लोगों ने क्या लिखा हुआ है, उस पे क्या कहा हुआ है, एंड हाउ ऑल दैट कैन सपोर्ट योर स्टांस और योर एंगल ऑन दैट टॉपिक और दैट इशू. आप बैठ के खुद से चीजें नहीं क्रिएट करते, क्रिएट करोगे तो दोज आर फैलेसीज. और अब इसको मैं एक और आसान मिसाल में समझा देता हूँ फतवे के साथ साथ. इस किस्म का मंजर तो आपने अक्सर देखा होगा. क्या मंजर है? A goat is plucking leaves from a tree to eat. ठीक है, everybody knows it, probably everybody has seen it. ठीक है, अब इसको थोड़ा सा एक्सट्रीम पे लेके जाते हैं. ये भी होगा, राइट, क्लाइंबिंग अ ट्री. इस किस्म की चीज भी शायद आपने देखी हो कि अगर दरख्त थोड़ा सा तिरछा है और उस पे ग्रिप जम सकती है, and it's climbable, so the goats climb it. ठीक है. Now this is a common approach to this issue. The issue is the goat needs to eat. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे it's easy, right? Accessible है, low hanging branches हैं. The goat just sort of like extends itself by changing its posture and starts plucking them. यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी उन्होंने अपनी उस कैपेसिटी को, इस तस्वीर वाली कैपेसिटी को मजीद एक्सटेंड किया, and because the tree has a sort of structure that is easier to climb it up, so they climb it. But here, this goat is very resourceful. It had an issue. The tree is absolutely vertical. No way it can reach it. But then there was a buffalo under that. The goat needed to eat. it used its critical thinking to first climb to the back of the buffalo, then change its posture to a vertical posture by using the buffalo and the tree, and now it can reach the branches and it starts plucking and eating leaves from the branches. This is the difference between a knowledge telling essay and a knowledge transforming essay, a new approach. अब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि within the existing knowledge, the goat adds something new. It approaches the problem, the issue, in a totally unique way. You can watch this video on YouTube also. So this is an example of knowledge transforming essay. I used the metaphor of the buffalo, try to explain to you the difference between knowledge telling and knowledge transforming essay. Here, the buffalo is transforming its knowledge. Sorry, the goat. So you need to think as much as this goat is thinking. You need to use your human capacity of analysis to write about a topic after collecting necessary information. Now, based on this, we can sort of list certain characteristics of a knowledge transforming essay. पहला जो बड़ा characteristic हमने बात की कि it shouldn't come from personal knowledge, personal experience and personal memories. Education के बारे में जो मेरे ख्यालात अपने लोगों को सुनकर बन चुके हैं, that is not enough. कितने ख्यालात होंगे मेरे पास, कितने आइडियाज होंगे, 4, 5, फिर उन आइडियाज को मैं सपोर्ट कर सकता हूँ, मैं एविडेंस प्रोवाइड कर सकता हूँ या नहीं, that will be a problem. ठीक है, तो number 1, a knowledge transforming essay uses discourse and rhetorical organization. What do I mean by discourse and rhetorical organization? आप अगर इस मेरे Facebook page पे नीचे जाएं तो there's a video about framing introductory paragraph. और वहाँ पे मैंने rhetorical moves detail किए हुए हैं. I gave details of rhetorical moves. So knowledge transforming essay is not break after break after break after break without there any connection to each other, and these breaks represent ideas. Without their link to each other, if I remove one break, it doesn't affect the other breaks. So rhetorical moves, it's a sort of pattern. It puts these breaks into a particular pattern, into a particular, and this pattern is linked to some kind of purpose. It achieves something for you. आपको बताया जाता है कि अगर आपने बॉडी पैराग्राफ लिखना है तो उसके 3 हिस्से होते हैं. पहले हिस्से में टॉपिक सेंटेंस, फिर सपोर्टिंग डिटेल्स, फिर कंक्लूडिंग सेंटेंस. दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ rhetorical organization, rhetorical move. Introductory paragraph के बारे में आपको बताया जाता है कि it should start broad and it should come down and narrow down to a thesis statement. Example of rhetorical move. So knowledge transforming essay is not independent of any structure. It is in this aspect, it is similar to knowledge telling essay. वहाँ पे भी structure होता है और यहाँ पे भी structure होता है, but there the structure is a mere structure. Here, and that just helps with organization of the contents. Here, the structure is linked to a particular purpose. और आपको पता था कि पहले मैंने क्या करना है, उसके बाद क्या करना है, उसके बाद क्या करना है, और इसका और रीडर पे क्या इफेक्ट होगा. सो मुझे बड़ी हंसी आती है जब मैं देखता हूँ कि कुछ बच्चे अपने थीसिस स्टेटमेंट को अंडरलाइन कर देते हैं या उसको बोल्ड मार्कर से लिखते हैं. These are not the essay writing conventions. They defy the essay writing convention. अगर आपको अपना थीसिस स्टेटमेंट अंडरलाइन करके रीडर को बताना पड़े कि दिस इज माय थीसिस स्टेटमेंट, then unfortunately that's not a thesis statement. You fail to write a good thesis statement. You fail to make these rhetorical moves. You should tell the reader that this is my thesis statement through these rhetorical moves, not by underlining them. ऐसे में किसी किस्म के underlining या headings नहीं होती. It's against the conventions of essay writing. So remember this fact. So first, there's a discourse and rhetorical organization. और मैंने आपको दो मिसालें दी, topic paragraph, sorry, body paragraph, topic sentence, supporting details, concluding sentence. Yeah, introductory paragraph, broad, right, bridge, and then thesis statement. And if you want to see a concrete example of it, please scroll down and look at the video framing introductory paragraph. इस पेज पे आपको मिल जाएगा. उसके बाद second is related to what I have already said. Content integration. आप अपनी मेमोरी से चीजें नहीं लाते. मेरे पास बड़े आइडियाज थे जी, मैंने डाल दिए, बड़े अच्छे आइडियाज आए यार उस वक्त. नो, आइडियाज नहीं आने चाहिए. आइडियाज आपने एक्सट्रैक्ट करने हैं, पढ़ना है आपने. यू नीड टू टेक देम फ्रॉम योर रीडिंग. एक आपने नॉलेज बेस बिल्ड करनी है. अगर आपको मिसाल मैंने दी एजुकेशन एंड नेशनल इकोनॉमी, इन दोनों का रिलेशन क्या है, इकोनॉमिक्स क्या कहती है, एजुकेशन इसके बारे में क्या कहता है. अब ये दोनों फील्ड मिलकर एक नया रिलेशन कैसे बनाती है. एजुकेशन करती क्या है और उसका इम्पैक्ट इकोनॉमी पे क्या होता है. जीडीपी कैसे ग्रो करती है अगर कॉम एजुकेटेड हो. इंडिविजुअल पे क्या असर पड़ता है अगर कॉम एजुकेटेड हो. फैमिली पे क्या असर पड़ता है अगर कॉम एजुकेटेड हो. उसके लिए आपको स्टैटिस्टिक्स चाहिए, उसके लिए आपको एग्जांपल्स चाहिए. अब ये सारी चीजें यहां से नहीं आएंगी, ये सारी चीजें पढ़ने से आएंगी. You need to get these contents from somewhere and then integrate them in your essay within these rhetorical moves. अगर आप कहते हो कि education improves a person's chances of better earning, तो नीचे फिर आपने कुछ स्टैटिस्टिक्स प्रोवाइड करनी है कि इस कंट्री में जो रेट है ग्रेजुएट्स का, जो परसेंटेज है वो ये है, और वहां पे पर कैपिटा इनकम ये है. जबकि इस कंट्री में जो परसेंटेज है ग्रेजुएट्स की उस कंट्री से 50% कम है और वहां पे पर कैपिटा इनकम भी 50% कम. सो दैट इज कंटेंट इंटीग्रेशन. और वो अगर आप यहां से लोगे विदाउट रीडिंग रिसोर्सेज एंड सोर्सेज, then it will be fallacious information. कोई उस पर यकीन नहीं करेगा. Yesterday when I was discussing that paragraph about modern warfares, वहां पे वो बच्चा एक definition देने की कोशिश करता है, but that definition is superficial. It's fallacious. It doesn't come from any knowledge source, foundation. उसका कोई theoretical और knowledge किस base में कोई foundation नहीं थी. So that's a problem. So that is the second quality of a knowledge transforming essay, that you read, you take contents, and then you integrate it within your rhetorical structure, right? And you decide कि कहाँ पे main idea, big idea जाएगा, कहाँ पे उसकी supporting details जाएगी. अगर मैं कहता हूँ कि this pen is the best pen in the world, तो फिर this is my opinion. How do I support it with contents from a knowledge base? क्या इस पे कोई रिसर्च हुई है इस टाइप ऑफ पेन पे? क्या इसके लिखने से स्पीड बढ़ जाती है, रिसर्च हमें ये बताती है, या इसकी कॉस्ट कम है, किस एस्पेक्ट से ये बेस्ट? एंड ऑल दैट कम्स फ्रॉम रीडिंग. तो अगर आपकी रीडिंग नहीं है, देन यू कैन नॉट राइट अ नॉलेज ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग एसे. वो रीडिंग भी you need to do in a specific way, and I'll do another separate video on that. Then कल with knowledge telling essay, we saw कि वहां पर you just throw things on the paper, breaks. इस हिंट को रखा, इस हिंट को रखा, इस हिंट को रखा. They have no connection. Reader को कोई पता नहीं चलता कि आप ये हिंट किस लिए रख रहे. Because you are thinking, you are under pressure कि यार ideas निकालो बस, लगाते जाओ. In a knowledge transforming essay, you write for the reader. There's a deliberation. There's a thinking. कि reader क्या समझेगा? Not what you write. You write for the reader. You develop something in them. So उसके लिए जो technical word use होता है, audience. Audience is very important. अगर आप अपने audience की परवाह नहीं है writing में, then you are not a good writer. You don't write for yourself. You write for somebody to read. This is not poetry. Poetry ज़ाती होती है. आप अपने एहसासात और जज्बात का इज़हार करते हो. This kind of extended essay is for a reader. It's not for you. So audience is an important thing, and you need to meet their expectations. Or basically CSSSM expectations क्या है? That you are knowledgeable, you can think critically, you can analyze, you can synthesize, all these kind of things. वो देखा जाता है. That is what's going to impress the examiner. So your examiner is your reader in a CSS essay, but what the examiner is looking for, you should know that, and you should pitch your essay at that level. Conventions and forms of the genre. ऐसे मुख्तलिफ किस्मों के होते हैं. तो मुख्तलिफ किस्म के ऐसे के फॉर्म्स भी मुख्तलिफ होते हैं. स्ट्रक्चर, अगर आप एक रिफ्लेक्टिव ऐसे लिख रहे हो तो वहां पे स्ट्रक्चर मुख्तलिफ होगा. अगर आप एक एनालिटिकल ऐसे लिख रहे हो तो वहां पे स्ट्रक्चर मुख्तलिफ होगा. सो यू नीड टू फॉलो. यूज ऑफ लैंग्वेज एंड लिंग्विस्टिक फीचर्स. Here the language is your weapon, and it achieves your rhetorical purpose. So आपको उन चीजों का पता होना चाहिए. For example, clauses. Unfortunately हमारे यहाँ clause बस कॉमा लगाया, आगे कुछ लिखा, कॉमा लगाया, आगे कुछ लिखा, और इस तरह से करके haphazardly लोग clauses बनाते हैं. There is a set pattern of clauses in English, and each and every clause performs a function in your sentence. क्या आपको पता है कि उन clauses का कैसे इस्तेमाल करना है? Adverbial clause का क्या मकसद होगा? कहाँ पे लगेगी ये? उसका स्ट्रक्चर क्या है? जो एडजेक्टिव्स वाली क्लॉजेज हैं उनका स्ट्रक्चर क्या है? कहाँ पे लगेंगी? शुरू में लगेंगी, आखिर में लगेंगी, किस वर्ड के पीछे या आगे पीछे लग सकती है? देन नाउन क्लॉजेज. उसके बाद अगर आपने एक एक्सपोजिशन लिखनी है, नॉर्मली द इंट्रोडक्टरी पैराग्राफ इज एक्सपोजिशन, उसके लिए किस किस्म की लैंग्वेज की जरूरत होती है? देन इफ यू आर राइटिंग कॉज एंड इफेक्ट, यू आर एक्सप्लेनिंग कॉज एंड इफेक्ट ऑफ समथिंग, वो कैसे करते हैं? कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं, वहां पे लैंग्वेज कौन सी यूज होती है? यू नो ऑल दीज यूजेस ऑफ लैंग्वेज. अगर नहीं है तो स्टार्ट इंप्रूविंग देम. पैराफ्रेजिंग क्या होती है? समराइजिंग क्या होती है? what kind of grammar or language we need for that? Definitions, if you're writing a definition, which tense to use in a definition? Past tense लगाओगे, continuous tense लगाओगे, right? So all these considerations. So the language in a knowledge transforming essay is used with a function in mind. And for each function, there's a specific structure in English. There's a specific way of using the language in English. So you need to start developing your knowledge of that. उसके बाद logic of information flow and rhetorical organization. What do we mean by that? दोबारा मैं आपको उसी पे लेके जाता हूँ. If you're writing an introductory paragraph, there is a particular structure. Thesis statement जिसकी बहुत ज़्यादा जिक्र होता है. Thesis statement is related to your rhetorical organization. It is related to the logic of information flow. Thesis statement reader को बता देता है कि आगे क्या expect करें, आगे information flow इस essay में कैसे होगा. That is related to logic of information